And thanks for everyone for your patience as well, as we're trying to figure out some technical issues here. So I'll be on my phone, but I did share the slides, as you can see, with Jennifer to guide us through this afternoon's presentation. So I see some familiar faces. Thank you all for being here, and some other names and faces that I haven't met yet. But my name is Frankie or Francisco Velasquez, but I go by Frankie. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I serve as the director for new student and parent programs. I am a proud two-time alumnus of the university. So I did my undergrad here in psychology. And then I stayed on to complete my master's degree in higher education with an emphasis in student affairs. And after that, after finishing my master's program in 2010, I went to the East Coast for a little bit. I worked in residential education at the University of Maryland. And then I made my way back to the West Coast. I was at Cal State Fullerton for some time as well, also in residence life, and then couldn't keep me away from SDSU. So I was a residence hall coordinator for 3 years here, residential education. And then I came back home in some ways to new student parent programs, because during my undergrad, I also served as an SDSU ambassador. So as a student leader, I was as you know, one of those people that was walking folks around campus and just letting them know how amazing our campus was to prospective students and families. And started as an assistant director, was in that position for 5 years. And as of December 2019, I've been serving as a director, and it's been an absolute pleasure, being in this position and just working with our prospective students, admitted students, families, parents, and of course our colleagues across the university, because it really does take all of us to orient, transition, and retain our students here at this university. So I prepared this presentation for all of you to share a little bit more of what we do. Some of this information you all might be familiar with, some other perhaps might be new, as we are doing some different initiatives within the department, and of course within the Division of Student Affairs and Campus Diversity. So we could go to the next slide, please. So as these are called Meet Student Affairs and Campus Diversity, I want to take the opportunity for you to also see who makes up our team currently. So like I said, I serve as in the director role. I also have an associate director, Dr. Robin Adams, who I know has been also here at this university for quite some time. And she started in new student parent programs last year as the associate director and parent liaison. Emily Kadawar, who serves in our coordinator position. She has also been in this role for about 6 or so years, and has been an absolute integral part of the team during that time. Lauren Gallegos is an assistant coordinator, and she is actually finishing up her master's program here at the university. We were able to do an emergency hire for a few months because some of our vacancies that we have currently in the department. And then our ambassador president, Katrina Hizan, she helps us immensely in the office, and also the leading our SDSU ambassadors in that role. We have 2 vacancies right now, which I'm hoping to fill pretty soon here. We have an administrative support coordinator who actually will be starting May 10th. So absolutely looking forward to having them on our team, as well as a lead coordinator position. I see that Eunice, I thought, was here. She served in that role in NSP for a few years, and is now in career services. But yes, we are going to be filling that here pretty soon. So that is our team. If we could go to the next slide, please. And like I mentioned, our SDSU ambassadors, who some folks may know this, that are housed within our department, and they serve as the official student representatives, tour guides, and orientation leaders for the university. And they do so much. Where do I even begin in terms of what they do for our community, for prospective students, for admitted students, and their parents and families? And I'll talk a little bit more about this as we continue, but obviously there's such an important part of our office, but also our division and the university, because they really serve as that front face, right? That first face, I should say, that many of our students and parents and families get to interact with, and they represent our university. So it's important that we have a training program for them, that they feel comfortable speaking in front of students, families, donors, even when we have some of those folks here on our campus. So they're a great group to work with. All right, if we can go on to our next slide. Thanks, Jennifer. So here in this slide, I talk a little bit more of like what our mission is here in New Student Parent Programs. And it's really was established to support the student success of our students, right? Through our orientation, transition, and retention initiatives. Within the field of higher education, student affairs specifically, a lot of what we do in New Student Parent Programs does revolve around orientation, transition, and retention. Also referred to as OTR. As you may know, many of us like to use different acronyms within the field, but also in higher education, so OTR. Also provide quality orientation programs that foster a strong foundation for new students, but also their parents as they transition to the university. And also cultivate a philosophy of partnership with parents and families. So our parents and families are an integral part of our SDSU students' experience and their success at the university. So us being able to work with parents and being that office that supports them and connects them with many of you here to support ultimately their student and their success, it is really important for our office, and I think for our university to be aware of that. All right, if we can go to our next page. So new student programs specifically. So what are some of the different programs, initiatives that revolve around supporting our students here at the university? So as I mentioned, our SDSU ambassadors conduct our campus tours on a yearly basis. We have these during summer, during fall, during the spring semester, winter break. We're always having campus tours for our campus visitors to come and visit. And it is a partnership across different divisions. So we partner with enrollment services and our housing administration to provide a comprehensive campus tour where there's an admissions presentation, there's a walking campus tour with the history, with the different colleges, from a student perspective, the ambassador, and then they also get to tour a model residence hall room. So students and families really get to see a lot of different parts of our campus and different areas that are interesting to them. New student orientation, this is a big one for our office. And our summer is really devoted to new student orientation and making sure that our students are getting the information, the resources, the services that will assist them in their transition, and making quality programs that our students are able to transition successfully to the university is absolutely one of our main areas of support. New Student Family Convocation is another major event for our office. When we're in person, we pack Viejas Arena with over 10,000 people. And this serves as an official welcome for our students, our families to the university. And we say that it's essentially the bookend to commencement, right? Where they are starting their journey with us at SDSU. And, it's a full on, platform party where we have our president, the provost, administrators, our student leaders and associated students. So it's a really special moment for our students and our families. And they're presented to their deans during that ceremony. So that's also very special. And we often see tears from mostly from parents, as they begin that next chapter for their students' life and come to that realization that their baby's growing up, right? They're starting college, and it's a new chapter, an exciting chapter but can often also be a nervous time for the student, but more sometimes even more for the parent or for the family supporter. Welcome Week is another, or welcome weeks, as we've also started to transition to a welcome weeks model, where we have a lot of different events for our students to get them acquainted with the university. So we partner with many areas on our campus to provide resource fairs, involvement fairs. Um, our one SDSU kickoff typically happens during that time. Our cultural centers will have different socials as well, welcome receptions that week. So it's really awesome to be able to lead and to partner with folks to provide that, because it's important. We want to make sure that students are feeling that sense of belonging, that connection to our campus, and the faster we are able to accomplish that, the more likely is that they will stay here on campus and be successful. Another important event that we partner with associated students, with folks in student affairs and campus diversity, is Ask Ignite. So I definitely don't want to take the full credit for all of the Ask Ignite events, but we do partner with Student Life and Leadership to put some of these on. Some of the ones that were specifically involved have been the Campus Carnival, our Red and Black Welcome Back dance, and then the first night event, which is that Friday right before the classes begin. So we look forward to hopefully having some more of those in person starting this fall semester. And then after, our students and our parents have gone through this orientation experience through move-in, or through a lot of our different transition and orientation programs, we invite them back to come to campus to see what their students' experience has been like. And this is a great opportunity as well for us to partner with parents and families, because we know, right, research has shown that around the 5th or 6th week of the semester, new students, first year students, tend to start questioning, did I make the right decision? Is SDSU the right fit for me? Can I see myself here for the next 2-4 years finishing my degree? So we say, come and visit your student, give them that extra push, or that motivation to keep going, because that transition can really take up to a year for students to really feel that connection, feel like they have a place here on our campus or that community. So this is another great way for us to partner with them, and often we hear from our parents too that um, they're surprised how much their student has grown over those few short weeks. And it's really, really neat to see, to have those conversations with students, but also with parents and families. And then some different retention initiatives that we started, I would say within the last 2 years, revolve around registration departure survey. And just to give a brief overview of what that has looked like, is for first year and sophomore students who haven't registered by their registration date in the fall, we start a campaign through SDSU Navigate EAB, where ambassadors are reaching out to first year and sophomore students, just checking in. Are you going, why is it that you haven't registered for classes, right? Essentially, that's what we're trying to get at. And we've gotten a different feedback from them. Sometimes it's due to fit, sometimes it's due to, I didn't realize I needed to register, I thought it was going to automatically happen. So you get a wide range of reasons from students, and that way we're able to support them better, right? Because if you're having a hold, okay, well, how do you resolve, registration hold? So the ambassador has been able to walk them through that. This is what you need to do. Once you resolve that hold, go ahead and register. But then we also, on the other spectrum, we are able to know why students are leaving the university. Is it because they're transferring to a different university? Is it because there's a medical, situation, or family dynamics have changed that requires them to go back home? So there's a variety of different reasons, and it's been really, I think, great for our office to be involved in this initiative and to be able to further support our students and the retention of them continuing on here at the university. Another aspect that we've been involved in is many campus partners have been involved in this, from the colleges to folks in student affairs and campus diversity, folks in faculty advancement, student success. But these have been around students who end up being on academic probation after their first semester. And we are trying to normalize that. We understand that that first semester can be tough for first year students. So being able to normalize that a little bit more for our students and provide them with um, uh, strategies to get them back to where they need to be. And one of these is bounce back. So some of you might be familiar with this program that is run through our counseling and psychological services. It's a 1-unit course where students are given some strategies on how to bounce back, right, from a tough semester. And we say, at any point, students will have a tough semester and sometimes where they don't do as well, but it's okay. You can keep going, and here are some ways that you can get back on track. And then the third one that we just recently got involved with was reaching out to students who are currently on leave of absence. So, trying to engage them in conversations. When do they plan on returning to the university? What support do they need when it comes to that return to campus? So these are some of those retention initiatives that we've been involved specifically around students. And then, of course, our SDSU ambassadors. Like I mentioned, they go through a rigorous year-long training program where we train them on how to give a tour. What does that script look like? They're assessed, and once they're ready to go, they start giving those tours. So that typically happens in the fall semester. And then we move on into the spring semester where we focus a little bit more on orientation. And by the end of that year, they also become peer academic advisors, where they're able to support the academic registration process of students. All right, so I just covered a lot, but I did want to pause to see if folks had any questions about just any of these initiatives or programs around new students. I don't know if anything came in the chat. We can also check there.
Frankie, I had a question.
Yes, Chris.
Are there any plans to keep some of these activities or initiatives virtual, at least as options moving forward? I was thinking, for example, like orientation. I know sometimes there's a financial, issue with people from out of state being able to come. And I know, some of these virtual options have really been beneficial. So any talk about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for this summer, we are continuing to conduct a virtual new student orientation program. I think, moving forward, I think, which is your question, Chris, is that we would be planning to keep some aspect of orientation, whether it's a 1-day, virtual orientation program. We also currently have some virtual components to it that will also most likely continue. So last year, when we quickly transitioned an in-person orientation to our virtual setting, we created these pre-orientation modules that all new students take, or complete before their actual orientation day, before they register for classes. So I imagine that component would also continue. And then also looking at how do we continue to support students, like you said, Chris, that aren't able to travel, more than once over the summer. And if they're moving in, that might be the only time that they're able to afford and move and have a parent or family supporter with them. So I think that's definitely a possibility, and definitely conversations that I want to, or initiatives that I would want to support as well.
Amy has her hand up.
I guess I was just kind of piggybacking off of what Chris says. I think it's a great idea. I was wondering how summer would be handled. And then also if like information about summer orientation has been disseminated to incoming students, because I have students already and families reaching out to me already.
Yeah, so we had a presentation during Explore SDSU where we talked a little bit about orientation. And at that time, we did share with them that we were moving forward in a virtual setting for new student orientation. We are having updates done this week to make sure that also we disseminate it through our website. And then there'll be additional information sent out directly to folks that submit their intent to enroll, getting them to register for orientation as well. And then we've been working as well with the assistant deans of the colleges to make them aware what the dates by college are going to be, that it will be virtual, and then what the dates will be for new student orientation. So I'm happy, Amy, or if you want to reach out to Dr. Martin, or if you work with Dr. Stacy Ochoa, I did share the information with them as well, but I'm also happy to share it with you if you'd like.
I can reach out to one of them to save you the time.
Sounds great. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Rachel has a question in the chat about whether new graduate students are included.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're starting to also work in our office specifically with graduate students and working with Graduate Affairs and Associated Students Graduate Student Association. Last year, we started a virtual pilot program to do an orientation for them, and we are continuing those efforts this year. It's looking like that orientation program will be in August. Right now, slated for August 13th, and working with Andy Mahanic on disseminating communication to department chairs for the different master doctoral programs to share that information with them as well. Yes, so lots going on in the student parent programs, and happy to support our students, and now having the opportunity to also partner to put on a graduate student orientation for our students. Wonderful. All right, so let's continue with our parent side of the house, if you will, our parents and families. So I know I mentioned many of these already, but I'll specifically focus on some of those that are specifically for parents and families. So for all of our first year student programs, we offer a concurrent parent and family orientation. So like I mentioned earlier, we value our parents and our partnership with them. We know that they will be one of the first people, right, that our students will reach out to when they have a hiccup, when they have an issue, when they have a concern. And we want them to be aware what are those resources that they can connect with, whether it's our office and then we connect them with one of your areas, or letting them know this is an area that you can reach out to about internships for your services. This is going to be your place to talk to, or some of the colleges as well. So it's really important that we start and establish that partnership at parent and family orientation. And we also share with them, that their role is transitioning as well, right? Maybe they were on the driver's seat, but now we want them maybe to be as a passenger, right? And supporting their student. We really talk about them being a coach to their student, someone who's going to be there to motivate them, to really be there for those times that they do really well, but they don't also do so well, and just being that support system for them. When parents and families attend our orientation program, they also automatically become members of our ASIC Parents Association. And when they become members of this association, they automatically start receiving email communications that are sent out to families. And then they also start receiving invitations to New Student Family Convocation, Family Weekend, in addition to joining the parent and family Facebook group, our official Facebook group, the one that the university and New Student Parent Programs manages. They will receive our e-newsletter that is sent on a monthly basis. Both of those initiatives actually are new. They started last summer and was the Facebook group, and then the e-newsletter we started in August. And then they also start receiving our News for ASIC Parents magazine, which is sent directly to their home. And it's another way, right, to engage our parents, to let them know what are those different initiatives that are going on our campus. Share with them our successes, right? Share with them what research is happening on our campus, some student profiles as well, just to make them aware of what's going on our university. We know that students often don't share everything with their parents or families, so this is another way to engage them. And then we also have some ways that our parents can get involved through student affairs and campus diversity, and in partnership with University Relations and Development and our alumni office. We do our Ask Parents Fund, and we reach out to families via phone, via mail, via email, to request if they want to give any gifts or donate any money towards the Ask Parents Fund. And what the Ask Parents Fund provides is seed money for initiatives that revolve around student success. So a quick example, and I think the most well-known, would be the ASIC Mentor Program. Through the ASIC Parents Fund grant application process, our colleagues in career services submitted a grant application, and the parent board, which I'll talk about just in a sec, they approved there to be money and seed money, and that's how we were able to contribute to the ASIC Mentor Program to get started here on this campus. And then the ASIC Parents Advisory Board is kind of that next level, right? For some of our parents that really want to get more involved and have a seat at the table, we have around 12 families right now that serve on this board. We meet a couple times during the academic year, and we keep them informed on what are some things that are going on. It's also another opportunity for us to engage them in feedback. You know, if we're thinking about different initiatives on our campus, you know, from a parent perspective, what are you thinking? What are we missing? You know, they absolutely love being part of this board, and they feel like they are also part of our community. We've heard our parents even say, you know, who didn't attend SDSU, that they feel like they themselves are SDSU alumni just because of all the different programs and involvement opportunities that they have to be part of our SDSU community. All right, if we go to the next slide, please. Just a few more. And I know some of you were asking about just orientation in general. And I thought because of our timing in terms of where we are with planning for orientation, I know this is obviously something that's top of mind for many folks on our campus. So this year for new student orientation, we will continue with our pre-orientation modules that will be sent to students. So this is a way for us to continue to educate our students and inform them on the resources and services, start to meet different faculty staff, those who've created some videos. So this will be launched later this May. Students will also get to meet with an ambassador on a one-on-one basis. Again, this is prior to their orientation day where they register for classes. And they will get them prepared with a plan list for their fall classes, and go over some different topics to get them prepared for their orientation. On their actual orientation day, they will have a small group session, once again with ambassadors, and they will cover a variety of different topics from advising to graduation requirements. And again, it'll be more of a review because a lot of that information would be in the orientation modules. There's an assistant dean session, a college session as well. So they get to know what resources, services are available to them in their college and how to be successful students. And then again, they have an opportunity to have a one-on-one, finalize their class schedule that day of orientation. And there'll be different virtual options for resources like financial aid, academic advising, student account services. So if they do need any additional support with any of these areas, the ambassador will connect them with that office. All right, if we can go on to the next slide. And then again, this is our parent and family orientation overview. Covered a lot of this information already, so I won't go into the specific details, but there is one thing that I want to point out: the summer webinar series that we're planning for parents and families. because we can't fit everything into one day. So we're really looking at expanding some of the sessions that we typically do during our orientation program and offering those a couple of times throughout the semester. So topics would include health and wellness and safety, community, building a sense of community for their students, residence hall move-in. I know there's lots of questions around that. So, having these pertinent topics that are going to be top of mind for students and parents during the summer as they begin their journey at SDSU. All right, here is my contact information in case you don't have it. Wanted to add this on a slide, and then contact information for the rest of the areas within our department, our main line, and our email and the parent hotline and our website. So that's a little bit about, well, not a little bit, I know I spent quite some time going over just what we do in new student parent programs, and want to share with pleasure what we do in our office. And I think it's always important, as we continue to partner with you all here and with folks across the university on how different ways that you can partner with us is, obviously we have these programs and initiatives, but if there's ever, you're working with a parent and, they might be upset or their student is having a difficult time, please let us know, and we're happy to connect them with the pertinent areas on our campus to make sure that their journey at SDSU goes well, and for parents too. We're happy to talk to parents. I know sometimes they can also get frustrated and upset, for a variety of different things. So we're happy to help with those conversations as well.
Hey, Frankie.
Yeah.